All right, we are back in Resident Evil Requiem, and we have got the 5070 Ti here, and we are on the current settings of max and no ray tracing. So everything's completely maxed out, all the way pegged to the wall. Jump in here, let me show you everything. So completely maxed out to the wall. We've got DLAA, we've got Reflex plus Boost on. That's going to help out with any sort of latency. And to be honest, this is a really good way to play it if you don't really care that much about ray tracing. You're able to basically turn everything all the way up to 11 and still get about 73, 80 FPS right here. So really there's no major reason to upscale at 4K unless you want to use ray tracing. I'm going to jump over to a quality upscale just to kind of show you guys. But yeah, it's really well optimized, and this new driver is working out really well. So I wanted to give you guys just a quick update on the, kind of status of the 5070 Ti on this brand new driver. There you go. So you're at preset K, and yeah, everything looks good on quality, of course, which is exactly what you would expect. So I'm just going to keep on running through here and see what we can expect if we, jump into some ray tracing. Everything does look really good without it. So ray tracing, we're going to jump into normal, high, and then path tracing. All right, so I'm going to do that real quick now that we kind of established that it runs really well without any need to upscale at all, really. So let's do that, and then I'll be right back. All right, so we are right back into it. Here we go. So we have 85, 86 FPS right here on just regular normal ray tracing. All right, so let's jump into it here, and let me show you exactly what my settings look like. So right here we have normal ray tracing, and everything is, still at 4K. Everything's still pegged to the wall. Nothing is turned on. Frame generation, we just got a quality upscale. Let's see what it looks like at DLAA, just to get a baseline from what it was. You're still very close to 60, and your latency is about 36 milliseconds, 35 milliseconds. So you're not going to get 60 without quality upscale, but quality upscale gives you like a ton of headroom. So really a quality upscale still works really well with that first level of ray tracing. So let's jump back over into that upscale and kind of play a little bit with just a quality upscale right here. So jump over here, and you can see it gives you about 83 FPS here, and your latency drops into the low 20s. So I mean, this game is really well optimized. I mean, I don't really have rarely do I play at 4K on a brand new title and not really recommend like performance upscaling. I mean, it really just, it works really, really well. The new driver looks good. It's very stable so far. So I'm, a lot of promise with this title to be running this well already because we've kind of gotten gaslit into thinking that every game runs like crap for like 2 months until they fix it. So that's not the case here. All right. So let's just run through here and see what all we can jump into and see what we can expect. So I'm going to come down here. Oh, there's a dude. I'm going to come down here and kick over to maybe, let's see, let's go to a balanced setting just to kind of see what we can expect there, because balanced is still on K. So I wanted to run through that. Let's go ahead and pop these dudes. There we go. All right, so we are looking good. Let's jump back into it, collect all this stuff, get some blood. All right, cool. So we are kind of into some of the, I need to shoot that thing. I'm trying to get that medal. So yeah, we're looking really good here. So 93 FPS and still on preset K, which looks really nice. All right, so let's just jump over into it and see what we can expect with a little bit more ray tracing. So I'm gonna, oh, that's where that blue thing is. There we go. Okay. Oh my God, run. Jesus. All right, maybe I'll let you kind of see this part with this baby. God, this game is so freaky. All right, so let's jump into it. Let's go back to a normal ray tracing or a high ray tracing and see what we can expect there. All right. And then we'll be right back. Here we go on high ray tracing with DLAA. We're in the 30s, so we're definitely going to need some upscaling at this point. But, still looks very promising as far as being able to claw some of that performance back. So we're in the 40s, and our PCL is around 44 milliseconds, which is fine for a title like this, but we know we can do a lot better because Upscaling works really, really well in this title. I think we're going to be able to get away with just some standard, quality upscaling, not even have to go that much further. We did check out Balanced really quick earlier, so let's see what that does for us here. Give it just a second. Yeah, we're in the 70s. I mean, there you go, a quality upscale with a normal or high ray tracing, I guess. Go ahead and turn this light on. Yeah, so everything does look really, really good. This new driver is working out just fine. For anyone who is possibly worried about that, I do have one hit kills turned on. So if you're wondering why I'm dropping these dudes so easily, that's why. I just want to not get to any kind of a craziness while I'm doing a video here. So 66 FPS and preset K looks really good. So lead researcher's office. All right, I just saved, so that's good. I'm kind of progressing on this new save a little bit with you guys. I'm a little bit further in the main story than this, but I like this area a lot, mainly because this crazy baby thing up here. But yeah, once I grab this, I should be okay. Let's run into here. Oh my God, this thing is so huge and weird. All right, so handled him. Let's save it. Okay, so I should not have to come back and deal with him anymore. He exploded very nicely. Go ahead and pick up this spy charm. All right, cool. So let's run through a little bit more of this and see what we can expect further. So we have basically, pretty good performance here. I mean, we're at 65 FPS here. We're doing a minor upscale. Quality looks amazingly sharp. It almost looks, it to me looks just as good as native, and you just get back so much more performance. It's almost like a no-brainer nowadays to just run quality upscale. But yeah, let's jump over and do a little bit of path tracing next and see what we can expect there. And I'm going to be right back. All right, so here I am with full path tracing on DLAA. So it is not looking pretty. All right, so this is, again, inside. You're in an enclosed environment, so this is kind of an ideal situation for the game. Definitely not an ideal situation, though, even though it's in an enclosed area. All right, so let's see what a little upscaling can do. We're probably going to have to go a little further on our upscaling than quality, but I am anxious to see if balance takes care of it. All right, so let's come into here and just do a little bit of upscaling. All right, this is going to give it a nice break. Now, originally it's set to quality with a frame gen, so that's another option. Frame generation does work exceptionally well nowadays. You don't really have to worry too much about added latency, because reflex plus boost really works out really well. But it's up to how you want to play for sure. So these guys are going to start moving. There we go. Just go ahead and blow that head right off. It's just end it. Just be done with it. All right, so right here we have 38 FPS. Now, it wants to run it with a frame gen. So we're going to check out what it takes to get it to a playable experience without frame gen, and then I'm going to kind of look at frame gen to see if that's a viable option versus additional upscaling. All right, so right here we are sitting really good at 41, 42 with a balanced upscale. So really, if you do have the kind of patience for going into frame generation, this wouldn't be a bad place to start. Your PCL is well under 50 milliseconds, which is very indicative that it's going to be okay. Now, I wanted to call out we are inactive right now because I'm on path tracing, and that enables ray reconstruction. So again, that's still a thing. You can't run both. But you shouldn't have to go into ultra performance by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you should be fine, which is really the only point that I recommend turning off ray reconstruction for clarity's sake with that new upscale model. But, let's see what performance looks like. All right, so performance will give you, a 60 FPS experience here. So with a 30, we're looking like high 20s latency. So really, this is fine. Performance looks exceptionally good. You could turn up the upscaling a little bit, or turn down the upscaling, however you want to say it. But yeah, then you wouldn't have to necessarily you know, give up the clarity. But, you know, I think that the clarity is really good at performance. It's still not hitting 60 all the time, though. So I think that, you know, I would probably just kind of set it to how the game recommends with path tracing. So that would be, you know, the quality with the 2x frame gen. But let's go to ultra performance and just see if there's been any improvement in clarity. Because it does give you a very nice uplift as far as overall performance goes. It isn't as sharp, but there's a big but. The aesthetics of this game almost gives it like that slight blurriness, gives it like a vintage horror look to it. So I kind of dig it. I mean, I think that just that slight grunge with the slight blurriness gives it kind of a look like you're playing through like a 70s horror movie or something. So I don't know. You know, you can kind of think of it like that. But for the people who are out there who really want that sharp image, I would probably come in here and say that you need to go to balanced or quality. Let's go quality first, just to see what it looks like with a 2x frame gen. It's saying that there's an unexpected high memory usage. That's just because frame generation uses VRAM, but you can get away from that by going to balanced because it's going to give you some of that VRAM back. So let's check it out at quality, and just depending on, you know, what kind of VRAM situation we're in here. Right now in this area, it's asking for almost 15 gigs, but it's only using 12. So, you know, it's allocating close to our max, but it's not spilling over by any means at all. So this would be a fine setting. I think the game is just a little too cautious when it comes to that kind of stuff. But if you just really want to not worry about it too much at all, you could just come in here and do a balanced upscale with a 2x frame gen. And that would give you no warnings or anything like that when it comes to your VRAM usage. Again, just because upscaling will give you back some of that VRAM. So now we're not going to have that warning, and our VRAM allocation is going to stabilize. All right, so yeah, we're a little bit less than the 14, whatever it was asking for. So we're at 13.8 now. So this gives you a little bit of that VRAM back and 93 FPS with a PCL of 47, 48 milliseconds. So, I mean, this is a really viable setting as well. You don't have to, you know, go into performance or ultra performance, which is really when those overrides start to become beneficial anyway. So if you're willing to just use a little frame gen, you'll be okay. So, and I don't have any kind of like VSync turned on, so I didn't want to, you know, artificially limit my frames. So if you're seeing any screen tearing, that's just all that is. Plus, you know, YouTube runs at 60 anyway, so it's kind of hard to get away from it. But, you know, if you could, you know, run it like this and maybe lock it at 90 FPS or 70 FPS, something like that, you would be able to minimize that screen tearing a lot. So let's see what a performance upscale looks like with that frame generation turned on. Simply because, you know, if you do want to lock your frames, you want to make sure you're well over 90 before you do that. And we weren't quite well over 90 yet. So you could lock your frames to 90 right here, and you would be able to have an extremely smooth, tear-free experience. And, you know, that would be more than enough on this title, I think. So if you like this kind of stuff, you know, please consider subscribing. I've also got a join button enabled. I can't really offer anything other than some small stuff, but it's just the way if you really want to support me, you know, you can, of course, do that. If not, that's no big deal at all. I'll never put anything behind a paywall at all. So if you want to do that, that's wonderful. If not, not a big deal at all. I would really love for you to just hang around, watch my videos. I've got playlists set up. You can watch a ton of stuff that I've done over the past year or so. But yeah, this is Resident Evil Requiem with the brand new update. As of what's today, March 3rd, 2026. And, you know, this is the updated driver, and it's running really, really well. So we will see you guys in the very next video, and everyone have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Peace.